What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Serie A audio experience with IFTV and guests. We're here with the legend, Azzurri fan Phil, and Dave of Milan Club Philadelphia.
Wait, we're not in the studio though. We're in a different setting,
This
right?
looks a little bit different. It's a little bit nicer over here. We came to Philadelphia
we're in Philly,
with
baby.
the Milan Club of Philly and Phil, who runs the Napoli Club of Philly. Guys, tell us where we are right now.
We're at Cafe L'Aquila, 1716 Chestnut Street.
Oh, shout out to them. We somehow made it out to the studio. It's been a long-awaited podcast. I think the people wanted to see this. We wanted to do this, and we somehow got Antonio out of the studio too.
It has. It's been 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Since you guys were in the fountain with us last time.
Yeah, the fountain.
It's been a long
Hey, Dave,
time.
you said the address, but you didn't say where we are. Grand
did say
Cafe
it.
L'Aquila.
He did say it. Yeah,
I
he did.
didn't hear that.
Yeah, you didn't hear it.
All right,
But
Grand
go ahead and
Cafe
repeat it,
L'Aquila,
Antonio.
guys. Great food, great atmosphere,
How the
great
people?
fans,
How the people?
Keep going,
and
keep going.
excellent people.
The
Okay?
people excellent?
Yeah.
Amen.
Most of
Once we're
Here
talking
we
about
go.
the great
Here we
service
go.
and the
Here we
great
got
food.
Gigio, this kid here right now is the boss.
Wow.
Very nice guy.
This-
The only problem is a Roma fan, but we'll keep
Hey.
him. We'll
It's not a
keep him.
problem. It's not a problem.
Gigi is also the vice president of Roma Club Philadelphia. We give him a shout out here.
Grande Gigio.
And we appreciate him tolerating us on a
We do.
weekly basis here.
Even
especially
I love
Phil.
Gigio.
Oh, you do?
Even I love Gigio.
We already love him. We only met him for 5 minutes.
We came here to watch the games. We've been saying for a while that we wanted to come. We got it for Atalanta Juve, which was an exciting one. Phil, you brought Juve some luck. I know you're happy about that. The second that you walked in, Juve scored.
That's how it works.
And then we watched, of course, Milan Napoli, which was an interesting one. We're gonna get into everything. We got a bunch of you guys who sent questions on Twitter.
We'll get to that.
I'm afraid to see what these questions are. But
I'm a little bit afraid.
I'm prepared.
Are you?
I think I know what's coming
Phil-
my
There's
Phil,
way.
gonna
I
be a
think-
lot of troll questions, I'm guessing.
It's so funny because I think we all have context at this table except Antonio, who
Yeah.
doesn't really understand. Antonio, are you on Twitter?
I don't do social media.
You don't do it?
he's
You don't?
actually
No?
he's the Young Hong Lee 69 account from what I've heard.
Oh my god.
I thought I followed you on Instagram.
I don't
that's
think
a
it's
fan
me.
account.
I think
That was
you-
a fan account
everybody
or
thinks that's
something.
him.
Yeah, people make fan accounts.
Antonio barely knows how to answer the phone.
I think you need to get on Twitter.
Antonio, do you have a Microsoft?
Yeah, we do.
Marcus messing with it. Oh, God.
Anyway, there's so much to talk about.
There is.
I really don't know where I want to start. I do have a question though for Anto. Since we're in Philadelphia and it was a marathon, I wanted to know, Antonio, if you had to say one thing to the marathon goers to motivate them, what would you tell them? Because you're a very motivational person.
To a marathon what?
So one of the marathon runners, it's Philadelphia, so they're doing a marathon.
Run for your life.
Run for your life. That's
Yeah.
very good advice. Now let me ask you one follow-up question. If to meet Cassano, you had to run the marathon on the spot right now, would you do it?
Of course.
Would you complete it?
Of course.
Even if he has to crawl himself to the finish line, I think Anto would do it for sure.
Anything for Cassano. Never make fun of Cassano. Cassano is the top.
The top.
May I ask a follow-up question?
Yes, please.
If Cassano were wearing an Inter jersey when you met him, would you still run all the way for him?
Maybe the half marathon.
He predicted that Inter are going to win the Scudetto.
He did.
I don't think so.
He
Who
did.
did?
Yeah, he did.
Cassano
said that, yeah.
did,
He can make mistakes. You know what?
He can make mistakes.
Yeah, he
human.
can make mistakes
Really?
when it comes down to predict who's going to win.
Uh-huh.
But as far as talent, there is nobody like Cassano. Okay.
Number one.
Number one.
Does everybody agree at this table? Do you agree?
I'll pass.
Well, Cassano and Insigne are friends, actually.
know.
They're really
I
close
know.
friends.
Yeah.
I think Insigne should be learning from Cassano. You know, this guy here, Phil, he's got an Insigne shirt. That guy Insigne is a little choker when it comes down to put the game
He
away.
set up the goal today.
I don't know,
What
man.
are you talking about?
He should have scored on the first shot. Okay.
There's gonna be a lot
This
of
is
disagreements.
we've
on
already
this
seen you
pod.
He's a
guys
typical
fighting over
choker.
Donnarumma and Medvedev. We're gonna get into all that.
Please.
Let's do Milan Napoli first. Let's go through the first match. Let's start off calm and then we'll ease into it. Even though we got a little antipasto of what you're gonna expect.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. You guys dig in.
Courtesy of Gigio.
Gigione,
Gigio
Anybody with a
Donnarumma.
name Gigio is a champion.
guaranteed.
Grande Gigio.
Not yet. Not yet.
Ooh, true. Not yet. That is true. Besides him. But Donnarumma's not yet. All right, Milan Napoli ended in a tie. Milan actually played really good. I was super impressed with the way that Milan played, and I feel like they could have gotten the win, but they held back a little bit. There was still a sense of them that Pioli, who's done a really good job in my opinion. I wasn't a fan of Pioli. I know Antonio's rolling his eyes, but they look a lot better than they did a couple weeks ago under Gianpaolo. No?
No, I agree. I mean, I thought the first half today was better than the second half, obviously, but I also thought that Milan were better against the Juve match before the international break. I like what I'm seeing in terms of the team actually trying. I think before that there were games under Gianpaolo where they just got out there and they had no direction whatsoever. They just looked like no energy, no excitement or anything like that. As long as they put the effort out there, granted, we're in 14th spot now. I don't know where we're going to be after today's additional point, but I can't imagine it's going to help us out too much. We need a lot of help, but at least things are starting to go in the right direction. I'm not ready to write the season off yet, but it's going to be really tough to move forward from there.
But you got to look for at least some signs, and I feel like today Milan could have had the win in them, which is kind of surprising to say. Like, I think most of us wouldn't have thought that, even though Antonio predicted a 3-0 win for Milan. I would say it's a little bit optimistic.
I never said that.
I'm sure we
I
have
heard
it.
it.
Yeah,
It was right after I walked in.
We have it on video somewhere. But I think that Milan, there was a point in the match where I don't remember who he subbed out. He put in another midfielder in, or he put in Calabria in, where the move could have been to put Leao in, but he would have risked. He wanted to play for the tie, in my opinion. Pioli was like, I'm at this place. I'm playing Napoli, who's a great team. A tie at this moment would be good enough, and he didn't want to risk losing that match where Napoli has a lot of quality where they could have taken advantage of him, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I agree with Dave what he was saying in the first half. Milan did play good, but the second half, it did seem like they were very conservative and seemed like they wanted to shield that lead, and they didn't want to lose that game. So a point was valuable for them even before the game started.
You're right. Second half was different.
And
Milan
that's why I
first half was
felt
better.
like they played a little bit more defensive, not too much attacking. But they did get, I think Milan won with this result, getting a point.
They took their foot off the gas, and so I mean, I think I'm happy with the performances they've had against some of the bigger teams. I want to see them take the same kind of attitude and like push it against the smaller teams, because I think they typically play down to their competition. Or nobody's a small team anymore, but I mean, especially the way we're looking at it. So
I agree with that.
So
Anto,
I would say the first half, Milan were clearly the better side. We had a couple of moments, but other than that, really other than the goal, I think Milan were clearly better. Second half, different story. But the problem for us is, there were points where it seemed like we were playing for the draw.
Yeah.
So, all in all, probably a point is deserved for both sides.
I agree with Phil. I mean, the first half was AC Milan, and then the second half, Napoli midfield took over because, like you say, when you're trying to play for a tie, you either gonna tie or you're gonna lose. And I think the move of putting Calabria in, it
changed the plan. You could tell that they were going for more defensive push.
Bonaventura by far the best player of the game on both sides.
Paquetá was really good too.
Paquetá has the
Paquetá
tendency
showed.
of keeping the ball too long or dribble the ball a little bit too much. So he's gonna have to know when is the right time to give the ball away. It's not here to show off what he's capable to do. He's gonna have to play more for the team than for himself. So Paquetá has got some maturing things to do. Okay.
What about Piontek, man? I mean, he had that one chance that he would have buried that last year.
Well, this
That
kid
cutback.
over here, I think he's more scared of doing the right thing. He's scared of making mistakes. So it's
There's
just
so much pressure on him that even these chances he should be getting on
I
target.
think
he blunders.
for me, it's a player that should come in on the second half all the time.
As a sub,
I don't think
right?
as a sub.
Who are you gonna start?
Leao. I would start Leao
I
all
like
the
Leao,
time.
but I don't know he's not experienced, but he has that cutting edge I like about him. He knows how to dribble. He's very quick, and he does a lot of fancy moves that fool the defenders. But I don't know. I don't know
wouldn't
if
start him
he's
over
ready.
Piontek.
I don't know if he's ready to start though.
Yeah, but Piontek is already talking about his next move. So,
Yeah, true.
I mean, at this
Right?
point,
Yeah.
why not keep him on the bench for the next couple of matches? Maybe bring him on in the second half.
Yeah.
They
But-
tried that though.
They
Like
did
they've
try that.
tried it.
Yeah.
Didn't. I mean, we know like strikers are very on and off. A lot of them. They're emotional guys. They miss a chance. Sometimes it gets to them. The strikers that are not greats, and even the greats sometimes it happens to them too. And then they'll score one, cheap goal or whatever, and then all of a sudden they just start going on there. And I think he needs that. He needs that bad, and Milan need it bad.
It's the same thing with Milik. That was the case with him, and
That's right.
now
I'm
unfortunately,
surprised
he's
why they
injured.
didn't play him.
He's
had
injured again.
He has
Oh.
injury problems in general. Before he got
Yeah.
injured, he was like the most informed striker in
Yep.
Europe.
Yep.
What about Manolas? What happened with Manolas today?
He had a slight injury too.
Did he?
And
Man,
nothing,
these
guys
nothing
always injured.
Yo,
really
he's been
bad,
getting,
but
he's been getting hasn't been playing at all.
Wait, I'll
for
tell you
them.
what happened with Manolas. Ancelotti
happened?
didn't want to risk him because the guy's a liability on defense. It's like a concrete wall
I
with
don't know
with a
about
lot of cracks
liability.
on.
Phil,
Okay.
defend him for
So
me.
Dave's wife is a structural engineer. She's an excellent engineer. I wish she would be here. So she will be analyzing this Manolas a little bit more. Manolas is full of cracks.
She doesn't worry about cracks so much, as long as the cracks don't lead to anything else. Cracks in a wall are
Well,
okay.
the thing is that the Napoli wall doesn't
Be
have
the
reinforced
nerdiest
bar.
podcast ever, you know.
Phil,
Dave.
step in, please.
Dave, the Napoli wall does not have all those reinforced bar inside the
All
wall.
right, well then you got to worry, but
Okay.
Unfortunately, this season, I mean, that's been the case.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been matches where, we've kept a clean sheet, but they still look out of sorts. With Manolas, we have Liverpool on Wednesday.
Yeah, you gotta save your good players.
Save him for that one. I mean,
Yo,
but
Mike, give me
today
some
that goal was just. I say that was on the
Put some
defense.
salami.
That wasn't on Meret.
Okay.
It was not on Meret.
Well, likely you guys have to keep the butter away from Meret.
Good, thank you.
Meret cannot really eat or drink or listen.
Some too.
Guys, this is very
There we go.
important.
Here we go.
This
Sorry,
is
we're
very
eating.
important.
Yeah, I'm grabbing some cheese.
Meret
and-
cannot have butter in any one of his recipes because the butter transfers immediately to his fingers. And
Antonio, he didn't even get a hand to the ball today, which is credit, by the way, to Bonaventura. He was not at fault.
great
for the
shot,
goal.
right? Great
That was a
shot.
Great shot.
Yeah, but white bone and
absolutely.
Butterfingers. In general.
But if you
Not
see one
tonight.
of the save, he didn't actually stop the ball. He just put the fingers over there, and then the ball just went down, and then he picked up the ball. It's not a Donnarumma.
I think, yeah, but which keeper made the error today?
Nobody.
Which one was more likely an error?
Uh-oh.
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Wait,
No,
wait,
no,
wait,
no,
wait,
no,
wait.
No, I don't think
Which
either
one
keeper's
was
made.
more savable, though?
I don't think either keeper made a mistake, though.
Okay, but
in my opinion.
which one would you say was more savable?
Donnarumma. By far.
Donnarumma,
Yeah.
all right, yes,
By
Donnarumma
That's what
should
I'm
have
saying.
saved. Donnarumma had a better chance of saving it,
Right.
but it was on the second shot, and I think
Yeah.
that was the difference. That goal by Jack today was phenomenal.
a great
And,
goal.
like, I'm happy to see that he's back and he's able to do something like that. I mean, scoring a garbage goal is one thing, but scoring something that actually, oh my God, that was just
great.
It was
Mark
meant
my
to be.
word, Dave. Bonaventura is gonna pay big dividends for AC Milan. This is the only one that he knows how to handle the ball. It doesn't choke with the ball. It doesn't release the ball right away. He knows how to.
He's
But they
good.
say that
He's
every
made out of
season.
glass,
Yeah, that's
though.
the
Well,
He's
that's
made
that's
out
the
of
thing.
glass.
He's got to
the
stay
problem.
healthy.
He's great.
Anto, you
I
were
love
so
him.
against Bonaventura a couple weeks ago. You didn't
Never.
like
I
Donnarumma.
never said that.
I'm pretty
Never
sure
say
you-
that. That guy's a liar. That guy's a
That guy's a
liar.
liar.
I'm messing with him.
Wow.
He's a big
Wow.
Bonaventura fan.
He's a smart player. He's got like a different. I think he has a different pedigree than some of these other players that have come from either other leagues or smaller teams or something like that. I think, but like you said, he just has to stay. He has to stay healthy. He has to stay fit,
He has that
and he has to
football
be
IQ.
consistent.
You can tell he knows when to hold the ball. He knows
Yeah.
when to pass the ball. He knows to keep passes, and he's great. He knows how to
No,
shoot too.
Phil, I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Why? No problem. I like Phil. Why
Not too
this
many.
guy here, Ancelotti, doesn't start Mertens?
So
ahead.
today, I don't know why he wasn't started. I think there's a little bit of a weird situation with Mertens and the whole team dynamic right now. Whatever is going on about him, Callejon, others being out maybe as soon as January.
Actually, if anything, I was expecting Insigne to have more of a problem because he's been sat on the bench for a couple times. He's been sent to the stand a couple other times. So I think Napoli's cracking because the management and the coaching, I think they're not really on the same wavelength,
Listen,
right or
it's
wrong?
it's not a good period right now. It just isn't. And unfortunately, Mertens is partly to blame for that. With
Why?
all of this chatter about him possibly leaving.
China. all
Yeah,
this stuff.
China or going to Inter.
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't help. But hey, a couple of weeks ago, he had some good moments.
For sure.
Too many
Maradona's
of these
record.
guys are on and off
Exactly.
this season.
Yeah.
Does today's result change Napoli's sort of outtake? I mean, does it make it any worse? I don't think it's going to make it any better. But
Yeah,
is the
certainly
outlook
doesn't
any
make
worse?
it any better. I don't know that it gets much worse. I mean, coming into this one, I always thought, I think plenty of other fans thought this was going to be a tough match. This isn't like a
this match-
scoreless
yeah.
draw at home against Genoa. I think more people would be happy today, but was there a lot to be happy about?
No. You know what? We could have used a win, and they could have used a win too. So this
Yeah.
game did not help anybody in particular, but at
But
least
I think it was
fair
exciting.
result.
I think
Yeah.
it was
Oh, it's
exciting.
very
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, it was.
It was
First
very
half
exciting.
for the
First
most
half
part.
was more
Yeah,
exciting.
Second
yeah,
half
the
was
first
a
half,
little
yeah.
on the brakes.
that's why my voice is all gone.
Yes,
You were screaming Butterfingers the whole
You were
time.
asking the waiter. You were asking the waiter for butter. You were literally asking the waiter for butter.
Did I? I don't remember that.
Well, it's okay. We got it on video. We got that one on video.
Yeah, you can't hide away from that one.
That's the good part is that everything's documented. So a couple times on
That doesn't matter to some of these guys.
He tries denying a few things, but we just pull up the clip, and he's like, I was
He's
drunk.
like, I don't think I
again."
really. I was joking. Now
Right.
we have that
He
one.
said he was
It's
drunk
like-
last time.
Oh,
Maybe
he
I
was
was drunk.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think you did say that actually.
Too much grappa, right?
For Koulibaly was a beast. I mean, there was a lot of
He
like.
always is.
I mean, no, but in the start of the season, there was a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
like,
Couple of
question
moments,
marks.
yeah.
Okay,
I
yeah.
meant to
But for
say,
the most
there
part.
was that whole African Cup of Nations that
Yeah.
he took time to adapt. I mean,
preseason,
he
yeah.
saves Napoli. He's to me the world-class player of Napoli. I love Alan too. I have a soft spot for Alan, who I think he did great tonight.
I think Alan stepped up today.
Yeah, he does so much dirty work
Yeah.
that it almost goes unnoticed.
grunt
Like so
work.
many balls that are
Yeah.
won back that could have led to chances
fights
and all
them
this kind of
back,
stuff that
yeah.
if you don't really know the game, you kind of think like, it didn't mean too much, but it does mean a lot. But Koulibaly is just that world-class player that embodies Napoli, in my opinion, and just he's the concrete wall. Talking about walls and this, the guy is just phenomenal. And in my opinion, Napoli's a completely different team when they have Koulibaly, and they have the Koulibaly as Inter score Lautaro
Oh,
Martinez.
baby.
By the way,
There's Lautaro.
we're watching during the
Can we
Inter
can we
game.
stop
Oh,
recording
what? You
Yeah.
cares?
right now?
Well, we know
Who
that
cares?
Inter won this game already, so we know that it's over.
You serious?
Marco
Yeah,
plays
yeah.
mind games all the time. So,
So
don't
listen,
listen to him 100%.
one more question I have for you, Phil.
Mike gets mad.
What do you think about
it?
this Lozano? He's one of my favorite players before
I-
coming to Italy. But now from time to time you see him playing on the left side, playing
Yeah.
on the right side. What did he find the position
He
Ancelotti for
should,
him?
I think he should be more consistently on the right. I don't understand why Callejon still has to start.
That was my
almost
next
every
question to you.
single
That was my next
match.
question to you. I
I
think
don't get it.
Callejon is done. He's done.
Oh yeah, he's done at least at the end of the season. But Lozano today, good match.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he was good against Salzburg too.
Yeah.
He got us to the goal.
Che ti fa bene.
But he did have a slow start. I mean, when he came in, he scored on his debut at
Yeah.
Juventus Stadium. Expectations were really high.
Yeah.
Then he dropped off a bit, but now I think he's picking back up. I think he was definitely a worthwhile buy. And Callejon, listen,
He's on the decline,
time.
man.
I think it's
the
done.
guy has to
I-
move on.
I think
It's
it's
getting
been
time.
time. The past couple of seasons, I feel
I
like
agree.
He's been down.
I agree, and
he's
I-
not Napoli's level.
I get a lot of hell for that. I think Callejon is actually
I think Callejon
overrated.
should go to China and just.
At this point, he has to.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where else he's going to go. He's not going to get a contract
He can
renewal.
go for a mid-table team in Serie A. I can see him.
But
I
I
think
don't
he's gonna go there.
I don't think he
Oh, you don't
will.
think
Yeah, I don't think after Real Madrid, Napoli, you're gonna go to mid.
Well, he's
no.
old. It's not like
Go to
he's a
China.
kid. Yeah, I know. Maybe I can
US.
see that.
U.S.
Oh,
Yeah.
US.
I don't think he's as bad. I think Michael gives him a lot of shit.
I
Michael
I wouldn't say that he's bad.
I don't think
I'm not
he's
saying
as bad,
he's
but I
not-
think
he's
it's
not at
I think it's
Napoli's
time.
level,
I
that's
feel like
it.
part of Napoli's issue, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there's a little complacency in some of the players, in my opinion.
At
Like,
this point,
I see there was that whole Sarri Scudetto that they almost had,
Right.
and it's like you see some of the best teams in the world, they are able to rejuvenate their team
Yeah.
and bring these sparks. And sometimes you have to turn over a new leaf. It's like, okay, Callejon, maybe you're not at your end right now, but it's better to let you go while you're towards that decline.
Until you're the villain and play
Exactly.
overstay.
too many of these guys, they end up becoming heroes in the city, so they stick around.
Exactly. They
but
fall in love with the city, but they don't know when
he's
to
got to
let
move
go.
on now. Yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely-
I mean,
definitely.
right now, too
It's
many
kind
of
of
them
a
are going.
predictable, right? Here. To me, it's a little bit too
Yeah,
predictable.
he's going through the motions,
Yeah.
and others are
Yeah.
too. And
I like that, yeah.
it's going to be a problem if we want to do something
Exactly.
this season.
He's not up to Napoli's level.
Before-
the past few seasons he was.
Before we move on from Napoli, Ancelotti. Yeah, I see you eyeing that cheese over there.
I'll
go for it.
I'll go when Dave's going.
He's already gone.
When Dave has some comments, I'll jump in.
What I was gonna say is Ancelotti. There's been a lot of talk. I've seen Napoli fans super split on this. I don't know where you stand, but I've seen Napoli fans who are like, it's time for Ancelotti to go. The tactics are not there. The complacency is not there. There was rumors that maybe he could. Where do you stand on that? How do you feel about the situation?
I think everyone has a bit of blame in this. I don't think getting rid of a world-class coach, especially when you keep in mind you have to replace the guy. Who's coming in to replace him?
Exactly.
With all due respect, Gattuso, I guess you can make the argument that you need a Gattuso-like figure to slap these guys around, get them in gear.
Motivate
But
them.
honestly, is that what we're going to go to right now? No. We'll see when the summer comes around if Ancelotti stays. I wouldn't say that it's likely at this point, but we can't get rid of him, and the team is not going to get rid of him
Exactly.
unless the Liverpool match is an absolute catastrophe. qualification in Champions League is in our hands. He's not going before the Genk match, and I don't think he should. I don't think he should go before the end of the season.
Yeah. I never, agree. I think people are so funny where they're like, yeah, sack the coach, get a media reaction. But who's the alternative?
And what has happened with Milan?
Yeah. No, I mean, this
Way to
that one
deflect,
kind of
Phil.
worked.
Thank you.
Gianpaolo wasn't a world-class coach.
But over the years,
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
easy to
Exactly.
do that.
That's not the answer. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
But do you think he lost the locker room or he didn't? And with the dispute with ADL,
Insigne.
do you think it's tough?
That was
like
bad.
That?
It was bad that they weren't on the
Like,
same page.
that's what I'm
That scared me more than anything.
The
That one of them is like,
miscommunication.
oh, I don't want to go into Retiro.
Exactly.
And the other one's like, no, I do want to go into Retiro. You got to be on the same
But
page.
the problem is, and people know that I love Ancelotti, but the problem is he came out in the press conference right after the retreat was announced, and he said, I don't agree with it. That sends the wrong
Yeah,
signal.
that's so-
And then, after that match, he's the only one that
Yeah.
shows up. It's mixed signals.
I agree with that. I agree that was a big mistake on my part where you see some of the big teams, you have to be on the same page.
Right.
Like whether or not, sometimes you got to lie. Like I know people
Yeah.
want to be honest, but listen, sometimes you got to be like, we're all
Avoid
sticking
that
to this
question.
decision. Exactly.
But you have to
on that
back
question.
each
Political
other
one.
up, because at the end of the day, the president of the club and the coach, if they're not on the same page, what are the players gonna think?
That was the biggest thing to me. What were you
Yeah,
saying?
well, no, I'm not a Napoli expert by any means, as you know. But the thing is, I think somebody like De Laurentiis is not going to let anybody be a bigger persona
boss
for the
Right.
team than
Right.
he is himself. So if there is a difference of opinion, you know who's going to win out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that could be a bad thing too, because I feel like ADL gets too involved, even though he shouldn't, because of his love for the club.
Berlusconi
You know what I'm
light.
saying?
But the problem is, looking back on it,
Yeah.
was he wrong for proposing the retreat? No. I think we needed it.
But
I think we needed it.
But if Ancelotti says a coach has won everything, that says maybe it's not the most suitable
Yeah,
opinion.
but what's the owner supposed to do?
Mike.
The coach says in a press
You think
conference.
he's overstepping his boundaries? Is what I'm saying, maybe a little too much.
What I'm saying is, if the owner of the team says we're doing this,
You gotta
whether
listen.
you agree or disagree, you don't publicly disagree.
Yeah,
You have to
100%.
accept it. And
Publicly
by the
is
way,
the
that's on the
wrong
players too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
Didn't we say that on
What?
the other
Yeah,
podcast?
yeah, we
we
said it.
talked
We
about
He's
said
it.
it. I
signing
brought
you
it
the
because
check.
of
The
him. I
guy's
wanted him.
signing you the check. Never say publicly like the way Conte
Especially
started.
before two
The same way
big
Conte
matches.
started to
Huge
blame
matches, yeah.
on Barella and Sensi.
Pick up his mic,
Okay, so when somebody's signing your check, like Phil said, don't say anything. Just do what you're supposed to do, okay? And then down the line, you make an adjustment. But Ancelotti, being a first-class coach, he didn't want to upset De Laurentiis at the same time. But he knows, he understands. To me, it would be a big mistake, like Phil said, to sack Ancelotti right
We-
now.
I
Just
think
doesn't
we
make
all
sense
agree.
at this point.
Okay.
Right?
Just doesn't
You're
make
right.
sense.
Yeah, we
There
all
are plenty
agree.
of Napoli
The
fans.
Napoli's
that
not
disagree.
broken.
I know.
I
not
don't
even
think
2 seasons
I
in.
don't think they're thinking it through.
Yeah.
Because things could absolutely
Yeah.
get worse.
100%.
Listen, Napoli's not broken. Like AC Milan was not broken. Don't change what's not broken.
Well, what's not broken at AC Milan?
Gattuso was still, for me, was a great coach for AC
in that
Milan.
sense.
Great.
And I did great coach.
I
Yes.
think for the players
Yeah.
that they had, like
they
looking
should've never
back,
sacked Gianpaolo.
Listen,
That was the reason.
Gianpaolo was not
looking-
needed on AC
looking
Milan.
back,
There
the
was only
players
a
that they
few
had,
matches in. How
Gattuso's
you just
probably the
sack
best
someone
option.
like that?
If you're gonna
All right,
change
all right, all right.
Gattuso from somebody else, get Capello or get Ancelotti or
The moderator
get,
of the podcast has
Okay.
something.
So-
There we
Wait
go.
a minute.
The words
no,
of
no.
wisdom are
I'm,
coming.
I'm really.
The
I'm,
peacekeeper.
first
He's
of all,
usually the
I'm happy.
peacekeeper
I'm
during
very
the
happy
meetups,
that I
too.
took my blood pressure medication this morning.
He's
but
like my dad
that's
on the
first-
podcast right now.
Oh my god.
We all scream and then he comes in with the right.
Now, the thing is with Gattuso, we all knew from the time that he started in as coach that he could only take the team to a certain level. And I love the guy. I absolutely love the guy, and I don't think he should have been sacked, but he could only take them so far. Were they to make it to Champions League, that they missed by 1 point.
Exactly.
That they missed
Yep.
by 1 point. And I'm not going to deny that there was a whole stretch of games that, there are games they should have won or should have tied, and that would have made a huge difference with the final number at the end of the season. But I think, going from Gattuso to Gianpaolo and now to Pioli, it's just there's too much just inconsistency.
Instability.
It's instability, exactly. It's the chaos in the team that's not helping. Like, how can you expect to win when the front office can't even get their stuff together? It's
Yeah, but Dave, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Mike.
go.
We had a bunch of great players like Calabria. Calabria was a different player when Gattuso was the coach.
I don't know
Right
about
now,
great players.
I cannot even recognize this guy here. Right now, they'll give him 15 minutes off the bench, or it's a big liability because he's got so many people telling this kid, this great kid, doing, okay, you do this, then somebody else comes, no, you do that, and then Maldini says to him, do something else. It's too much. The kid is very young. It's maturing now in AC Milan, and now once we prepare, listen. He's very young. Calabria is a very young kid.
He's not that young anymore, but still. Yeah. No, but so you have Piontek, who was very good when he started, and now he's in a slump. He's in an extended slump, I would say. You have Kessie, who I thought was decent for
he's a
year.
player,
yeah, a year and a half. And the thing is, he's slumping now as well. The team needs a psychiatrist more than anybody else. They have the players that I think that could do something. They need a psychiatrist.
Listen,
talk
I
to them,
agree with
Anto.
you with the Gattuso thing. Maybe
Go
it was
talk
time
to
for him
them.
to
Go be the
go.
psychiatrist.
But what do you think of Giampaolo leaving
Milan's-
so soon?
Of course,
Do you
I'll
think
talk to them.
Giampaolo should have been sacked, or was that like out of the plans? Like, how could you do that if you have a plan? You know what I'm saying?
I was never convinced that there was a plan in the first place. I mean,
don't think so?
it's hindsight is 2020. But the thing is, you got this guy Giampaolo who comes in. I was skeptical because he wasn't proven. He loses the first couple matches, everybody panics, which I don't think is unreasonable to panic as a Milan supporter because this guy's supposed to be coming in. He's not the former player that becomes a coach that we've been used to for the past time. We have a tactician now. We have a guy who's by the book. Saki said this guy's the real deal. He shows up, and the players are still playing at their absolute worst. They're unorganized. They don't know what they're doing out on the pitch. They're not motivated. Okay, it's one thing to have a system and to have the tactics, but you got to have the players buy into it. Nobody bought into it,
Exactly.
so I can't judge
But
how
Dave,
good
what
or
did he
bad his
bring in?
tactics
What
were.
did he bring in terms of tactic? We were 4-3-3 with Gattuso. The guys that's
Well,
a
that's just it.
4-3-3, same thing.
Well, we never even
There
got
wasn't
to
enough
see
time to
anything.
see that, and
Yeah.
Enough time, 6 weeks. You don't have enough time.
6
plus
weeks.
Yes.
You can't do anything in 6 weeks.
What about the preseason?
Look at Juventus under Sarri. Do you see anything?
Oh,
How many months has it been?
Sarri to me, it's another one of those overrated coaches because Sarri is not inventing anything at Juventus. Listen to me, Ronaldo under Sarri has been very, very, very bad. You know why?
I'm okay with that.
Huh? You're
I'm
okay?
okay-
I
I'm
know.
okay with that.
You know why? Because Sarri's system, it's a system where everybody is supposed to be scoring. Nobody, it's a light over there on the center of the box. Ronaldo is no longer that light. Ronaldo is one of the 10. Or one of the 11.
I usually don't agree with you, but I do agree with you that in Sarri's system, I've seen Ronaldo. I laughed when he was scoring with Portugal, and there was people who were writing to us like, guys, it's not Sarri. Ronaldo's just done. His career is over. He's hurt. This and that, and then he goes and bangs him in, for Portugal. And I know people will say, oh, that was it Luxembourg or whatever. But it's more so the attitude that I've never seen Ronaldo play so bad this season at Juve. I haven't seen him this poor, even chances that he's about to score, just off, completely off. And I think, Juve today was horrible. Juve,
It's not just Ronaldo.
It's not just Ronaldo.
Juve
The
have
entire
had
team is.
few
We talk
really
about this every
good
podcast.
performances
Very
this season.
Very few.
And
Against
takes-
Atletico and
okay.
against. I'm trying to think of a second good performance that Juve had. Napoli? Could you even say it was
Against
Napoli?
Inter.
Against Inter.
Right,
Two.
right.
Two.
The
And
Napoli
that's it.
match
It was one that I was.
And
they
that's
were
it.
they were good
Yeah.
at the beginning,
Yeah.
but then they let in 3 goals and, quite frankly, only got a point because of one of the most unlucky own goals in history of the league.
So two good games.
So
since it's the end of November.
Wait, but that was last season that Atletico, right?
No, this
no,
season
this
against
season,
Atletico.
this
That was
season.
we
But
played
guess
a great
what?
match.
But guess
Okay.
what?
We did play a great
Sorry.
match.
They conceded a late goal.
Yeah, I know.
It was the equalizer. Now,
But-
that doesn't necessarily
Yeah.
speak to the whole performance,
Oh, yeah.
but they have been eking out these wins. Today was one of their biggest margins of the season, and they didn't even deserve that.
Not even
But guess
close.
what? They're still getting the results. So.
And
Yeah, but
again,
that
Phil-
was Atalanta that
But
entire
Marco-
match completely dominated.
Marco, to pick up on what Phil was saying before, if it was up to Sarri, Dybala would be gone already. Dybala
I don't know
will-
if that's true.
That's true. Believe
I
me.
think that was
the
more the
guy-
management.
I
The
don't
than-
know
guy,
that it was really
they
a
put him.
Him. Player.
I think they put him almost on a bus to go to Manchester United or Manchester City.
But I don't
think
know
was the
that
management.
was him.
I don't think
Right.
that was
Yeah.
Sarri. I think that was the management.
Yeah.
But anyway, about the game, Atalanta Juventus. We got here a little bit late. Atalanta missed the penalty kick. They had a penalty kick. They gave it
hit
to
the
Baro.
post.
He hit the crossbar, I believe.
Yeah.
And Atalanta just had chance after chance after chance after chance. I saw Juventus had one shot on target. De Ligt made a challenge that was brilliant off the line, close to near off the line. Szczesny made a couple saves. There was a couple others I don't remember the details of. But Juventus were so bad. It's so embarrassing. And I wasn't surprised. We were talking in our group chat. You know, I had said a tie. I think Mike said even Atalanta win. And you think in Bergamo, the key player is missing, obviously. And I agree with you. I agree. Atalanta deserved at least
Juve
a
always
tie.
get off the hook, which is, you
because
know, I feel
Atalanta
bad
fell
for other
apart in
teams.
the last 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
Juve started playing well when Costa came in, when Dybala started linking up. They did start playing better. But for 70 minutes,
It was all
that was all
Atalanta.
Atalanta.
But Atalanta couldn't capitalize. That's why teams like Juve that have quality are so much more efficient and know how to turn on that switch.
Yeah.
A
The
team like
opponent gets
Atalanta
worn
doesn't know.
down. They're tired.
Exactly.
I think the goalkeeper, it was more of a delete than what's his name? Szczesny.
No,
Yeah.
Szczesny made some great saves.
Hey, with those two slides,
yeah.
delete, it was
it was-
better than Szczesny.
The league
Believe
was
me.
great tonight. Finally, he's had a really great match, I think. That was
He's
one of his
picking
best
up.
performances.
He's picking up now.
He's been really poor, but I think today he
Yeah,
actually had a
I
really
don't
good
think
game.
he has had a good start.
Yeah.
Certainly not what fans of the league
He
expect.
needs a straight jacket, that guy, with all the handballs he's been getting.
Oh, yeah?
That's why when his arm, I think he dislocated his arm at one point. I was like, all right, no more
He should just
handballs.
pulled it all off, right?
No, but even building out of the back, like Antonio was saying about the Sarri system. I want to get your opinion since you know Sarri a lot better than we do. But there were points in this match where Juventus were playing it lateral passes from Quadrado to De Ligt to Bonucci to De Sciglio, who is a whole other issue in itself. But they could not build out of the back for the life of them.
But it takes time.
It takes time.
for
My God.
his system to be implemented.
Yeah.
Listen, I know he has a lot more at his disposal at Juve, but when he came to Napoli, his first season wasn't anything amazing. I mean, actually, we had such a head start because Juve were just pathetic to begin that season. But, you know, we ended up falling off that season. It takes time. I mean, he really built up Koulibaly. Before Sarri, Koulibaly
Yeah.
wasn't an all-star. In fact,
Yeah,
we
he
were
wasn't.
talking about getting rid of him.
Do you credit
So-
Sarri on that?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. For a number of these players. The problem is, I didn't expect Juve to bring in someone like Sarri to essentially start over. They have an immediate goal right now, and it's not to win the Scudetto. It's to be champions of Europe. And I found it really surprising that they went with him.
Right? That's
Because does
that's kinda my
anyone really
point.
expect Juve right now to win the Champions League this season?
The way they've been playing, no.
No.
But
I think that like there's been times in Europe like when they played against Atletico and I saw a difference in the terms of they were attacking a lot more than under Allegri. Under Allegri, you scored one
Right.
goal, they sat back.
Right.
And I think in Europe you do have to have this more attacking mentality. So I see it on that side, but I don't see Juventus have any play. And like you said, their immediate goal, you got Ronaldo for who knows how long. You want to win right now.
Your
and
goal
I guess
is not to win the Supercopa.
Yeah.
Scudetto
I mean, they're goals,
at this
but
point.
it's not
right.
the-
They're goals, but
the
that's
end goal.
that is not what the fans want.
Yeah.
It's not what the management wants.
yeah, it's Champions
Phil,
League.
do you think we're gonna see more Sarri type ball this season for Juve, or you think it's gonna take more than one season?
I don't know that that's the other thing about hiring someone like Sarri. I don't know that he is going to last beyond this season.
Really?
how long did he last on Chelsea? Come on, ask yourself.
What do you
One
mean,
or
a
two
year?
seasons?
He won.
Not
he
two
won-
seasons, right?
what did he
One
win?
One
He
season.
won the
He won the
Super
Europa League. Europa League.
Europa, but
Europa, come on.
but you're talking about a team with different
What are you gonna do with
expectations.
It's
Chelsea
something.
had different
Yeah.
expectations. Juve, we know what their goal is.
Yeah.
And I just don't see them having the patience with the guy, especially if Guardiola is out at City.
They're gonna get him, right?
Yeah.
I think
It could be a good
that's when it
transition.
actually happens.
Would you sack him? Sorry.
If I'm Juve,
Yeah.
I don't.
Depends. guess
I don't.
How the hell are you
I
gonna
don't
sack the
see.
guy?
Well, they're not going to sack him now.
They
right?
don't have any
Are you
problems
talking about
sacking or
right
letting other
now?
people go anytime.
At the
No,
end of
they're
the
not gonna
season.
sack a coach.
I don't think
Not
so.
now.
Listen.
At the end of the
At
season.
the end of the
Yes.
season,
I
sure.
thought we were talking about right now.
I got news for you. Mark my word. If this guy here does a poor job on the Champions League, regardless whether he wins the Campionato or whatever, he's gone.
That quick though?
If,
He's
Guardi-
gone.
if Guardiola
depends
is
who's
available,
available. Yeah, exactly.
Availability.
I
It's
could
all
see
about
how
availability.
Sarri is the transition to get that Guardiola.
Right.
But again, I look at Juve's midfield, and then I look at what Napoli's midfield was when they actually played great football. It is night and day. I mean, Khedira, Emre Can, Bentancur,
Matuidi.
Bernardeschi, Matuidi. They're not players that can play the ball. Like, if you watch any of them, they are horrible.
But they were players last year for you. You would
And
never
they were horrible
complain.
still. But Allegri had zero
He's
tactics.
the
Now they're
system.
trying to make some tactics.
It's the
but you're playing with
system.
no
It's
good
the
players.
system that is not good.
I
Right,
think-
Dave? It's the system. I will never take Sarri. Never,
Never.
never, 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 never.
Listen, I don't have any love for the guy right now, as you can imagine, but I'm not going to deny that he's a good coach.
Was he good for Juve though? Is more the
No,
question.
no, that's what I'm
More
saying
so,
is
yeah.
it just didn't make sense for them to
pick
bring
him up.
in.
Maybe
then
he's
again,
a starter for Guardiola. Like,
when you
to ease him in. That's what we're
placeholder.
thinking.
When you look at what was available to Juve, like when they were talking about bringing in Inzaghi, why?
No,
Yeah.
Why?
Mihailovic.
The only reason why would be to be a placeholder.
yeah, that's what
I
we
mean,
thought.
the only other alternatives, in my opinion, and this is who I wanted Conte. To me, Conte made the most sense because he was Juve. I think that he's able to get the best out of his players, and I don't think under Sarri, look, they didn't get that midfield that
But
he
he
needed.
burned his bridges, so
He did.
it apparently wasn't going to happen.
I mean, I don't know. For me personally, I mean, we've
Right,
seen Juve.
right.
Look what happened with Bonucci. Bonucci burned bridges too.
Yeah,
and they're
that's
able to
true.
take him back. And there's a couple other circumstances that you could probably, go to and look at. Well, Inter just missed the chance. I saw Zaza almost scored too.
Who
but-
cares?
But in my opinion,
Thank
Conte
God.
would have been more adapted to get the most out of this team at the moment with Ronaldo in there, with all these guys, than Sarri, where it's like 2-3 year plan, if you're lucky. I don't know. I could be wrong. We could look at this in April where they peak, and you start seeing that really. 2-0.
Yes.
What was that,
Who
Skriniar?
cares?
Skriniar.
Listen to
Okay,
me.
right.
Listen to me. I'll tell
I
you.
told
The,
you this game has been over.
I'll tell you the problem with
I got you.
Juventus is.
What's the problem, Anto?
Before Sarri came on board, Juventus was a Ferrari. Now Juventus is transitioning to a Fiat. Okay?
Were they a Ferrari?
No,
No,
if you
not
come.
really.
Under Allegri, did the Juve even play good?
I'm not
The
saying
Ferrari was
even
only
as
up
bad
in
as Allegri. Listen, no, I'm not saying I'm not a big fan of Allegri. I couldn't
You're
care
not?
less.
I thought you were
No,
a big
never,
fan.
never liked the guy. But I'm saying is,
You won with him.
where is the upgrade? Where is the upgrade? You go from Allegri to Sarri.
But they were talking about maybe getting Gasperini.
oh my God, that's the dream of everybody to have
No,
Gasperini.
I don't.
everybody.
I wouldn't want Gasperini.
And to me, I think you're
I
wrong.
want Gasperini.
Conte, listen to
He's
me.
being sarcastic, right?
No, he's
No,
not.
he loves Gasperini.
He loves Gasperini.
Conte.
The dream of everybody.
I will take Gasperini. I will take Gasperini forever.
He said the dream of everybody.
Rate,
But-
rate,
but-
rank your top 5 coaches right now.
Is
current.
Gasperini number one? for me.
Right.
Yeah.
In the
Keep
world.
going,
In the
keep
world.
In the world, Gasperini number
Uh-huh.
one, Guardiola.
Uh-huh.
I would put Capello, Ancelotti,
They don't even.
and
Capello right now?
Capello, even though he doesn't coach.
From
Capello.
what, the retirement home?
Yeah, from the retirement, from the bench.
Ancelotti.
Ancelotti, and I
Klopp?
will take.
Klopp?
No.
Mourinho. Mourinho.
No.
Oh, he only won the Champions League
Spalletti.
last season.
Spalletti.
No, please. I will take.
Spalletti.
I will put Gattuso on the number
Ventura. Put Ventura up there,
Ventura,
too.
no,
Go for
no,
it.
no, Ventura.
There's no way that you're
That's
real.
quite a list, Antonio.
It doesn't make sense to you, right? All right. But definitely. Listen,
I
take
agree. I
Mourinho-
agree. Gasperini's done a lot with really bad, not bad player. I shouldn't say bad player. He's built something incredible with what's at his
He
disposal.
overachieved.
Let me
He
throw
overachieved.
Inzaghi
He did.
inside.
I
Let
will.
me throw Inzaghi in. And I think, you know what?
Simone or
Inzaghi-
people?
No, of course Simone. Listen, to me...
You never know.
You never know,
This guy's
Venezia,
not-
if
To
you're
me,
going to
you
put
guys would have
Gasperini
done
at
a
the
better
top.
job to take Inzaghi instead of Conte,
Simone
too.
Inzaghi.
No.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's one that I just didn't understand. For Lazio, great. For a team like that, fine. But you really would expect him to do something with Juve?
Absolutely.
Interesting,
Absolutely.
difference of opinions, we'll say.
Yeah,
By the way,
absolutely.
Anto, what's your opinion? We didn't get yours on Mourinho going to Tottenham.
Oh.
Second highest paid coach in the world, 17.5
Jesus,
million.
what a waste. They have so much money to waste.
They
those
won
guys.
today.
So what?
3-2. They almost
No,
got the.
Mourinho-
I know. I
Team
kind of
got
felt
late
bad for
comeback.
Pochettino. I don't know a lot about Premier League, but I do know that Tottenham didn't spend a lot of money, and the guy Pochettino did a great job with the squad. I kind of felt bad for him, even though they are in 14th place, I think.
Yeah, 14.
But
But they have a beautiful stadium.
That should make up for everything.
Well, the 2 billion plus,
It's brand
definitely.
new.
Yeah.
Well, when you don't win anything, I mean, they haven't won anything since
I'll tell you what is
2008.
gonna happen.
We're gonna
I'm
have
not talking about
an
another team, by
amazing
the way.
stadium. We're gonna have an amazing
Phil,
stadium.
who's the best player on Tottenham? Keane, right?
Probably.
All right. Watch what is going to happen to him. Mourinho is going to ruin his career.
Yeah, but apparently Mourinho had some epiphany while he had his time off, and he's revolutionizing how he approaches the game.
the humble
really?
one now.
What
As they're
is-
saying.
Did you
Did you
I
see
mean,
Did
I
you
guess
see that
when-
comment?
yeah,
that
I
was
saw that.
amazing.
When you're at
Absolutely
Tottenham,
amazing.
I guess you
he's
have to
the
be,
humble
right?
one. Tottenham didn't make too much sense to me because I feel like they're not. He's always wanted a team that spends like a lot of
But
money.
he was desperate to do
yeah,
something.
maybe.
That's what I see. I think it was just bored doing the punditry.
He should have went to
with everyone
Fiorentina.
doing.
That would have been the move.
Dave, why don't you
They wouldn't have
remind
been able to
those
pay him.
guys what Mourinho did to Svechenko when he left AC Milan, he went to Chelsea? What he did to Kaká when he left from AC Milan, he went to Real Madrid.
Yeah, but it's a new day. It's
What he did to Pogba when he left from Juventus, he went to Manchester United. This guy is the best coach of ruining the best player of the world.
Yeah, but is Pogba that good right? I know you guys
love
have
Pogba.
feelings towards him, but
Yes.
I mean, is he that good right now?
He was
Again?
a great player,
Yeah,
and
he's
Pogba,
not that
Right,
good.
right.
Pogba
but-
showed you that as soon as Mourinho was sacked, Manchester United starting to skyrise like that, and he won the championship, the World Championship with France again. So who's right, Mourinho or Pogba?
Well, they didn't.
He
Manchester
played
United didn't
Pogba.
skyrocket,
He
but
played
I think
Pogba as a defending midfielder.
Yeah, he did. He did mess
Come
up
on.
with Pogba on that. I agree. But Pogba to me is not the difference maker. He can make a really great midfield.
Addition.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You know, he's not really the guy that could build off of your midfield. You know,
So-
like he was really good with Vidal and Pirlo because he could do his work and Vidal ran for him. But when you got to run the midfield at Manchester United, it's a lot different.
If Mourinho was available for Milan and they could have realistically signed him,
I will not watch soccer for the next 10 years.
you would prefer Pioli?
I'd rather to take Pioli.
What about you?
Mourinho.
No way.
Mourinho.
No way.
No way.
No way.
If he was realistically available.
No, I don't want him.
No way.
You know who I would have chosen? I wouldn't choose Mourinho either. Spalletti.
Oh, please.
I really thought that Spalletti would end up at Milan. I thought that would have been good for you guys.
By the way,
Certainly more
mine is
so than
solely
Pioli.
content
Why don't you
No,
keep
sure.
him? You
Spallet-
take him.
Who,
You take-
Spalletti?
Yeah, take him.
Listen, I don't like to get into this whole Ancelotti being sacked or not, but if it did happen,
You'll take Spalletti?
I'd take Spalletti
That
over
would
some
be
of
the
these
end
other
of
guys.
Napoli. That would
Wait,
be the
Dave,
end of
the
Napoli.
end?
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, at the time, I'm not a fan of Spalletti either, but he was a better of the bad choices.
I agree.
Right.
That we had
with that.
available to us.
I agree with that.
He was a better.
He wanted Gattuso back is the big thing.
I would take Gattuso back in a heartbeat, but the thing is, I think there's a sense of pride that you know who Gattuso is, and I don't think he would have come back, unless something big happened.
Such
There was
as-
Maldini.
some Maldini.
Yeah.
There had to be like a public reckoning or something between Maldini and himself and Boban and everything, because I
Probably.
really think that it was those guys that.
But Dave, do you think that actually Gattuso was sacked because of Maldini and Boban? I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, how much can we really know? From everything I've read, it sounded like the relationship had soured. I mean, I understand as Maldini, you're coming in as a new director, you're new in the spot. You have to make a move that at least looks like you're in control, right? I don't know. I wish I did, but it was going to Gianpaolo. I first thought was a lateral move, but then you look at how things worked out, and they actually went backwards in terms of quality.
Yeah.
So we'll
I
see.
agree with that. Before we get to fan questions, Twitter questions, Phil is very
Can't
excited
wait.
as I
Can't wait.
see over there. I wanted to ask you. We never got both of your opinion. We've already said it. At this point, who do you guys think is going to win the Scudetto this season? Dave, you could go first.
To be honest with you, I don't care. We have no
If you
shot
had
at
to
it.
make a guess.
You know what?
I don't care.
Flip a coin?
Honest to God, I don't care. If it's
All right,
Juve,
but
if it's
no
Inter,
emotions, but like,
no emotions
well,
whatsoever.
who do you think would win? If you had to
I don't
put-
know.
if you had to put
I
money
couldn't
on it.
even tell you who the top three are in order right now, because I'm down here at this point, and it's
Too early to tell.
But if you had to make a guess,
Too
Come on.
early to tell. And I'm definitely not getting into my preference between the top two.
do you think
right
Napoli's
now.
still in the equation?
Nothing's over yet.
That's true.
Am I saying that Napoli are going to win the Scudetto right now?
Doesn't look.
I said it at the beginning of the season. I
Oh, yeah?
truly believed it.
Really?
But they hit too many bumps.
Yeah.
But hey, listen, we're barely a third of the way through
Yeah.
the season right now. Don't say anything with
That's
certainty.
true.
No,
Yeah,
Inter's gonna
okay.
win the Scudetto. They already got it
Yeah?
wrapped up.
You
Yeah, they
saying
got it
you
wrapped
saying
Wrapped
they're
up?
wrapped
It's
up?
completely wrapped
All
up.
right,
Oh,
Marcos
I
was
know
saying
what
it.
he's
I
doing.
don't know
I know
why.
what he's
Antonio,
doing.
write that down. Write it
Antonio,
down.
Mind
it's wrapped
you.
up. No.
Yeah, they have the wrapped up, but not under the tree yet. Juventus. Read it. I would rather to take Juventus to win the Campionato, not because I like Juventus. I hate Juventus so much.
I'm not getting into any discussion about preference between
I
the
don't
two.
want Inter or Conte. For me, anybody winning other than Inter is like we won. Okay? I don't want Conte or Inter to win anything.
By the
Not
way-
even the Berlusconi trophy.
I
Okay?
think that's
So
the
what
only
if
thing you
at
guys
the
can
end
win
of
now.
the season we play Inter the second to last match? But let's just say somehow if it came down to a scenario where Inter would win the Scudetto, but
I know where this is
Milan qualify for Champions League.
I know, but
It's not happening.
I understand, but just a crazy
yeah, come
hypothetical. Would you take that for you to qualify for Champions League? Inter win the Scudetto. You take that deal,
or you don't qualify for it, and Inter do not win the Scudetto.
and Inter do not win.
This is a scenario that, first of all, is never going to happen.
I would.
But if it
Second
does-
of all, Inter winning anything, it's out of the question for us, okay? So,
that you would not want it to happen.
Forza Inter, but please don't win, okay? You're not winning anything. End of the story.
Wow.
Forza, did you mean Milan?
Yeah.
No, Forza Inter. In other words,
So they
it's
think-
been I'm being a little sarcastic.
I'm
I
glad that
love
you're-
you, Inter, but I
now
just
he's being
want you not to
sarcastic.
win anything.
You guys gotta
I'm
let me
glad.
know when he's sarcastic.
Yeah, I know.
'cause I don't know when he's
I'm
being
so
sarcastic.
confused.
I'm glad we
What did you
clarified
have
that
to
one.
drink downstairs?
Espresso.
How many-
Did you guys see that Conte quote, by the way? I know you
Yeah.
Yes.
Which con?
Yeah.
did. Conte quote.
Oh, the Kama Sutra stuff over there. What the hell is wrong with this guy here? Is that the one?
Yeah, it's real.
You know, the guy is a little weird, to be honest with
He
you.
is a little bit weird.
And
I love the guy, but he's a little bit weird.
he's a little
He's a
bit
little
of
crazy.
he's a little bit of a show off. When the team scores and they win the game, it's just me.
Oh, you think he's energetic after a goal?
Yeah, too much, too much.
Is he ever down on his knees going like this, or?
Oh, it's crazy. The guy should be. I think he should be given a little Prozac this game here. But you know what? When it's time to blame somebody, it's the first one that says you.
Yeah, he
you.
does.
Yeah,
he
he does.
loves to blame
Yeah.
others.
He
Right,
does.
and he points
loves it.
finger right into the eyes over the.
And that's why I think ultimately I'm not saying that he's not a very good coach, but I think ultimately he's overrated.
too much. $11 million for somebody like that.
11 million euros.
I
Please.
think too much.
Please.
He's
No,
one
I
of
mean,
the most
Tim,
important
in my
managers.
opinion, he's horrible with the things that he says. Like, he's got a lot of faults. He's way too emotional when it comes to his press conferences and stuff. Even at Juve, he was a disaster at his press conferences. And a lot of people always said that. But I think, to me, he's still the best coach. The best Italian coach, in my opinion, is Conte. Just with the way that what he has at his disposal, he literally turns players that have never won anything and would never win anything into winners.
But
In
if he
short-
doesn't
in a
win
short
anything
time.
this season, let's say that Inter
But I
don't.
told you it's wrapped up.
But let's just say
Yeah,
for the rest of
None
it,
under the tree yet.
if
Listen, Phil.
Inter do not qualify out of their Champions League group,
Oh,
if
that
they
would be-
don't win the Scudetto, if they don't even win Coppa Italia,
I think they
Does
won't
he
care as
stay
much about
around?
the championship.
Yeah.
I will sack
He
him.
will stay around.
He'll probably have
100%.
another season.
'Cause
Him and
look
Marotta.
look how much he built already.
They got this.
And they
They're
actually
going to give him
have a
2 years.
plan.
But the guy's not going to stay more than
But
2
what
or
if-
3 years at Inter,
but-
for sure.
what if
For sure.
Mourinho becomes available?
Well,
next
he
summer?
was available. I
Still,
think that they didn't just
I-
take him.
I don't think he's gonna-
Maybe
I don't think
Simeone.
he'll go
Maybe if
back.
Simeone becomes available.
It might tarnish his
They love
history
that
with
dude.
them.
Mike, questions? We got any?
Oh, we got a
No,
few.
wait. I want to ask Phil a
ask
couple
him a
more
question.
things.
A
To
couple.
finish up with Conte, this guy here is disparaged, humiliated the best national team that we have midfield. He has at his disposal
Where's the question?
Barella and Sensi. So this is the guy that this kid here, Marco, is saying is one of the best coaches, this and that. And then he points the finger and said, what do you expect the Inter to do when you have somebody that we pick up from Cagliari
I agree.
and
I
somebody
think
else that we pick up from
He's too
from
emotional
Genoa?
on those sides. I agree.
Come
I
on.
think his attitude can listen. He's a motivator. It can be great, but at the other time,
Yeah,
The
exactly.
other hand, look at the other times where things go a little bit wrong.
Yeah.
And he's throwing others under the bus.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that's when Juve ended up having enough of it.
I think he's just an emotional guy too.
He's
the
emotional.
moment.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
clearly he's emotional.
So,
I
can,
can,
like,
well,
I
at
can
the same
see
time, though,
I can
if
feel
that's
for
what he's
someone like
done everywhere he's gone, you know what to expect from him,
Right.
man.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
you know what you're getting. It's
But
not
he
some
gets
mystery.
results at
But
the end of
Well,
the
he's
day.
effective. Exactly. He's absolutely effective. And I'm not going to lie. I mean, Conte is the one that I wanted even before
Yeah.
Gattuso was selected
He's a
because
great coach.
he
Of
was the guy
course.
that needed to motivate Milan and get them the hell
That's what he
off their
does.
asses, you know.
Yeah.
But
He would
it's
get
just,
this team to a Champions
Yeah.
League. for
So
sure.
Phil,
Absolutely.
Ancelotti will not throw those guys under the bus. He will not throw anybody under the bus, right?
No,
No.
He's had his differences with some players. It's clear that he's had some differences with Insigne.
But not on primetime TV, just trashing
he
those
do that?
guys.
No, because I think he is the consummate professional. And some people think that might be a bit of his problem, that he's not nasty enough with the players.
Oh,
That
yeah?
He's too much of
Yeah.
a gentleman.
That is, I agree with that though. I agree that sometimes he is, and for sure, Ancelotti embodies what a gentleman is, and how to portray yourself as a coach. I always
Absolutely.
always thought that, but definitely it could be to a fault at times. Antonio, you go with your questions enough?
Yeah.
Can we take some fan questions?
No, I mean, unfortunately, I wound up agreeing with Phil most of the
You
most
say
of the time.
fortunately or unfortunately?
Both.
We'll get to some disagreements.
Let's go for the first one. This one's to Dave. He said, "What are your thoughts on Borini?" I think this guy.
Who asked that
Borini.
question?
God.
Who asked that question?
Oh shit, he knows. He knows.
Khalid knows we're Team Borini all the way.
Okay.
All the way.
Really?
If
Wait,
I
you guys-
love
is this a
Borini.
joke?
No, it's serious. I have a
Borini seems
Borini
like
jersey.
A great guy too.
He has a cult following amongst the Philly
Okay.
Milanisti. I don't
You
get it.
you
Is
wouldn't
this like me
understand.
saying Inter
You
wins
wouldn't
Scudetto, or is
He
understand.
seems like a great guy
no,
off the
he,
field too.
No, is he serious?
he likes him.
He fights hard too. He fights
I
in every
don't think he
position.
disappointed when he played all the time on AC Milan.
No,
he
listen,
did.
talking
he's-
about a different
He
player.
played his
no,
heart
no,
out.
all right.
Borini.
No,
Borini.
There's
right.
nothing wrong with
He
Borini.
can play goalkeeper.
And everybody can say whatever they want to say. Borini, when he's called upon, he's out there. He works
Exactly.
his butt off.
Yeah.
I
He's
can
not
work
the
my
best
butt off
player.
too,
Yeah, but not
but
the
You can
come
too.
on.
Well,
Listen.
look, he's not the best player, but he puts
In
his
the
heart out
absence
there,
of
and that's what
Bonaventura,
I
in the
love
absence
about
of
him.
Bonaventura, he did a job.
let
He
it
did his
go. I'll
job.
let it go.
I agree.
So the
Go to the
next
next
one
one.
is Phil. Do you really think Meret is better than Donnarumma? We gotta squash this
There
beef
we
right
go.
now. 'Cause
There
we
we
know
go.
what's gonna happen.
Wait, first Antonio answer it because I know where your answer is.
But the
Donnarumma-
question was for Phil.
I know,
Yeah,
I
Let
know.
him say it.
But I know his answer. I want yours.
Of course not.
Okay.
It's not even a question. This shouldn't even be a question.
Okay.
Donnarumma is right there,
And where's Meret?
right under the table.
That's my problem.
That's why I wanted to answer first.
But that's my problem.
Okay.
I've never said that Meret is better than Donnarumma. I don't think there is some gulf in talent. I don't think one is clearly superior to the other.
You don't think one's here and one's there? No.
The point that many Napoli fans make. Now listen, do some think that Meret is better? Fine. I don't think they're the majority. The point that most of us are making is he deserves a chance with the national team, not just as a guy that comes in for
10
20
minutes,
minutes. He could have played a little more in the final two qualifiers. He's a good keeper.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's better than Donnarumma, and I'm saying, by the way, if the Euros started tomorrow, say Donnarumma starts. He has the experience.
Yeah.
That means something right now. But this idea that Meret should be shut out and Sirigu deserves the backup
Over him,
spot over
yeah.
him. Come on.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I
I
get
think
what
should be
you're saying.
Meret second and Sirigu third goalkeeper.
Yes!
But
Oh my God! How did I miss that?
I didn't watch the game, the Italian
You were in
national team
agreement.
I thought
game.
it was 3.
We were up 9-0, right? 8-0.
8-0.
It was 8-0.
Here we go.
And then all of a sudden it says 8-1. I said, I said to myself, damn,
Okay.
Donnarumma should have kept
Just like
the
today.
clear sheet. So I said, no, that was not Donnarumma. I said, who was on the goalkeeping? I said, it was Meret, right?
Just
So-
like today,
Uh-huh.
a great shot. You can't fault him. If anything, you should fault the defense for both of the goals. I'm not saying that Meret doesn't make mistakes, but we know Donnarumma also makes mistakes.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
Let me conclude this
All right,
combo
but-
because I think that it's such a ridiculous. I've seen it online and I don't
Stupid
entertain
debate.
it because we are so
Stupid.
lucky. We are blessed from the
Right.
heavens with the goalkeepers that Italy has.
Oh.
I mean, Meret, Donnarumma, Golini, Sirigu. I don't know any
too
country.
many people are too interested in
Yeah, everyone
personal
wants a fight.
agendas
Yeah.
or their
See, they
their
want to
club.
try to pit me against Phil. I like Phil. Nothing personal with him.
That's
But
what I'm saying.
Donnarumma is better than Meret.
I do agree that Donnarumma has more experience, but Meret is a better shot saver. But I do like Donnarumma when he comes out. He's a physical presence. And listen, either one plays, I'm happy because
Yeah.
they're both two phenomenal keepers. I would make the question more of who's better up top and the situation we have there. Our back line is good. I'm happy with it.
Okay, let's move on. We
Yeah,
got a
go
few
to the
more
next.
questions. So this one's to Dave. Ciao, Presidente Dave from Milan Club Philly. If Ibra were to join Milan in
Oh, boy.
January, is he the wake-up call Piontek needs to get back motivated and scoring goals? Also, can he solve Milan's goal-scoring problems this year? What do you think?
Ibra is the wake-up call for that entire team, not just Piontek.
Wow.
The mentality, right?
Absolutely, that
I
guy's
agree.
he's
like
gonna
it.
take no prisoners. He'll come in and I mean, he raises everybody up, And
100%.
so sure, I hope Piontek would do well. I mean, Ibra's at his best. I mean, at one point when he played for us, he got tired of scoring goals and he got more interested in helping people out. He became a true number 10, I would say. And Nocerino had his best year under Ibra. Boateng, you know what I mean?
And who was there? It was Cassano and made Ibrahimovic the best player. Cassano used to take the ball and just put it right on his foot and said, "Hey, go ahead, score, boom."
No, I would absolutely love having Ibra back because we need somebody who's like a clear world-class player.
Winner.
We don't have that right now.
Exactly.
So
100%.
What's the
Next
next one?
question, Phil. Would you rather see Juve win the title again or support Inter to?
I'm not
to the
answering
title?
this. I said it.
You're gonna
I'll
say
say
no?
this. No, hold on. I'll say
Jordan
this.
Belfort answered. I don't know if you know him.
I don't think that's a real Jordan
Interista.
Belfort.
Okay.
No,
Not the Wolf of Wall Street.
No.
That's what I'm thinking of.
But I know the account. I know the account.
okay.
I know the account.
If this was the Wolf of Wall Street, you'd have to answer though.
People will know my preference, if you want to call it that, and I certainly don't. They'll know by the end of the season. But I'm not going to say.
You're not gonna say it?
And I listen. Choosing between those two,
Yeah.
come on.
You rather
Throw
sports,
Roma
right?
in the mix too. Really kill me.
Hey, you got
No
your Roma
offense,
stuff.
Gigio. Thank you for the lovely salumi and
Gigio puts up with me. He's
Bruschetta
great.
and
He's a
everything.
saint.
Gigio is the
Grande
best.
Gigio.
He
What
is.
else you got?
He is.
And yeah, one last question. We're gonna do updated predictions. What positions will Milan and Napoli finish this season according to now?
Me?
Everyone, quick ones.
I'll say Napoli, where I said third, and Napoli third, and I'll say fifth Milan.
I'll say Napoli 4th and Milan 7th.
I say Napoli 4th and Milan 6th.
So who's finishing third?
Atalanta.
Oh shit!
I
forgot
will
about
say
Atalanta.
Napoli 5th and Milan 6th.
Napoli in Champions League zone, and Milan just outside of Europa right now.
Wow. Okay. So hovering around.
Yeah, I still think it's too
possible.
So
early.
we agree, basically.
Ludovico actually
Yeah,
said
we agree too.
he's doubtful that they'll make a Champions League
Yeah,
spot.
Ludovico
Napoli.
feels
Napoli,
scared for the
Which
championship.
I was surprised.
Yeah, me
with
too. I
all
was
due
very
with all
surprised.
due respect to the teams that are still above us, almost all of them still have to play Juve, and the gap is not big enough, and it's still too early
That's
to
true.
say Napoli.
It's over, yeah.
You
So
could,
much
you
can
could talk
change.
about problems within the squad.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. You look at some of those guys above us,
Yeah.
and I just don't think that they're in it for the long haul.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Fair enough. Yeah, I know
Long
everything
season.
looked good and gloomy right now, and some of these guys, once they hit one speed bump,
If we get a
they could
result
just-
against Liverpool,
Yeah.
I've said it is going to take the one win that could turn things around.
Yeah, that's true.
So what would that be? Let's say a 1-0 Napoli winning in Liverpool at 0-0 will be a good result for you?
Well, certainly a win or even a draw. I think a draw might.
You're playing away
Qualify.
this time, right?
Oh wait,
Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
But listen, there have been times where these guys have bounced back from bad situations in big matches.
Right.
Oh,
I would love Napoli to win.
Who expected us to
I would love
beat
Napoli to win.
Liverpool at
Yeah.
San Paulo?
That was incredible.
I mean, so they can do it. They need to get motivated. They need to fix
And be
a few
consistent.
they
things.
have the players. They have the players to do it.
But even if we lose at Liverpool, which you would say at this point is
They,
most
they
likely,
are the favorites at the end of the day.
The
we
best
need to
team in
be
Europe.
ganked
Exactly.
at home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we are
exactly.
officially qualified for the round of 16, and for the first time in I don't know how long, maybe 2016, 2017. But, that's why all this talk about Ancelotti being fired beforehand, realistically,
It's
just wasn't
ridiculous.
going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially before
Ancelotti's a Champions League's coach. Ancelotti's got
Yeah.
Champions League experience,
Exactly,
okay?
exactly.
And we
He
were
needs to- he
we
needs to
were
bring that
inches
against Cenk.
away last season from
Yeah.
booting the future champions of Europe out and us going through.
Right.
And that was a group of death.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
PSG
Come
and
on.
Liverpool.
I
mean,
feel like
that's
Napoli
so
only. I
difficult.
talked about this in other podcasts. I feel like Napoli only get motivated with the bigger teams, and with the smaller teams, they slouch off a
Yeah,
lot.
I definitely agree with that.
I don't
and
know
like
why.
like okay, great that you beat Liverpool, but then when you play Genk,
Yeah, you're
or
supposed
Genk,
to beat Genk.
you have to have that same kind of idea in my head.
They
Like
did have a
these
lot of
points
chances,
are just
but
as
at the end of the day,
you still
you
get
gotta
3
get the
points
3
against
points.
Liverpool. You get 3 points against Genk. You know what I'm saying?
It's
at the
worth
end
the
of the day.
same at the
But
end of the day.
Well, listen, Antonio can vouch for this. I mean, that's how Italian teams
Yeah,
have
yeah.
been since the beginning of time. Like they play big against big teams, and they play down to other
That's how it is,
competition.
yeah,
It just
sometimes it is.
that's the Italian mentality.
We
Yeah.
weren't
Against
supposed
the
to win at
Provinciali.
Salzburg
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and that's what was supposed to lift this team when Insigne scored the winner late in the match. That was supposed to be the turning point. We haven't won a game since then.
Yeah.
So maybe we need this Liverpool match.
Hey, I really like this setup, and I really want to give another big shout out to Gigio. I
Hey.
mean, this is a spectacular play.
Gigio, thank you,
Gigio, come
Gigio.
this way.
Gigio.
Gigio,
Better
come here.
goalkeeper
Gigio,
than
come
Meret.
with
Come
us.
on, come say
Gigio,
hi.
come to say hi. Oh boy, this
Oh,
guy.
Phil.
What did I
Okay,
do?
it's
Uh-oh.
okay. It's okay.
No.
Move
Yeah,
it,
it's
move
fine.
it.
Gigio, come this way. Gigio, come this way. Actually, Phil, stay here.
Grande
Everyone
Gigio.
squeeze in.
Grande
Gigio is.
Gigio.
Forza Napoli on 3. Forza Roma.
Grande
Okay.
Gigio. Thank
Ciao.
you, Gigio.
Guys, this
Buongiorno.
is the kid. This is the kid. He's the owner of the restaurant.
Talking to Mike.
He's the architect. He's the designer.
Really?
He's the one in charge of the food preparation.
He's the master.
Coffee,
No.
Put the Roma scarf above my
Roma scarf, coffee roaster. You got it
God.
all.
It's a
And
big
if,
team
if I
effort.
can,
He's
if
got
I
it
can
all.
add
He's
something
got it
too,
all.
if I can add something too, when Gigio and his partners opened up Gran Cafe L'Aquila here in Philly, they promoted Italian calcio
Nice.
in this city, and they brought all of us together. So that's why Milan Club Philly, Napoli Club Philly, Roma Club Philly. There's an interclub as well that's not as organized, and there was a Juve club at one point, but everybody gathered here, everybody
No one
congregated
misses
here.
those guys.
And and it's because of the work that Gigio and his team do here at Gran Cafe L'Aquila. So I have to thank you from the bottom of our heart
Hey,
for
one more thing.
everything that you do for us.
One more thing.
Me.
Yeah. One more thing. I was just walking around on the restaurant and I see this big check that this restaurant under the ownership of Gigio they got to Amatrice. Amatrice is one of those little
Yes.
towns that was really, really, really affected by the earthquake that they had recently.
No,
And
it's
that's
a sister city to L'Aquila in sorts, and to Rome, where
Right.
our story started in L'Aquila. So
Yeah.
Gran Cafe L'Aquila is a rebuilt cafe from the city of L'Aquila. Stefano, who you met earlier, this was his cafe in L'Aquila, which was destroyed in the earthquake
Right.
in 2009.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
We met Stefano a couple years after the earthquake, and we convinced him to move here. And we partnered up with him. We rebuilt his entire cafe here.
Oh, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Great. And Amatrice, by the way, was the place where the Amatriciana was
Right.
invented, right?
Right.
So,
The
you know
famous-
what? The
famous
guy,
Roman dish.
not
Getting a
only
history lesson over
not
here.
only they preserving the city, they're preserving the recipe, they're preserving the tradition that we have in soccer, and they made us coming all the way from Brooklyn to Philadelphia. Okay, thank you again,
Thank you,
Gigio.
thank you. No, it was great.
All right,
This place is amazing. It really is. It really is.
Beautiful
Nice.
place.
Everybody loves it too. That's a good sign. Is the people that keep coming back. I met a couple guys and they're like, I came from college. I always come here. It's like come here at night and eat.
They
So
said the food's the best there.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
It
we
is.
know.
You know what?
beautiful, guys. Phil, Dave. I'm so happy that we finally got you guys.
Thanks for
Yeah.
inviting
on a
us, coming all the
podcast.
way here. to
Thank you so
finally
much for
come
having
back.
us. This is great.
Yeah,
It's-
this is
it's
Come
great.
visit again.
Yeah, we will. We will. I think we're gonna.
Thank
need,
you for bringing Antonio too.
We had to drag him out of the house.
I think
he
we're gonna
canceled
need.
all his jobs to come.
We're gonna need
I'm
leg
not missing
2.
this.
We're gonna need leg 2 in Brooklyn though. This was leg 1. This is
Absolutely,
Champions
yeah.
League. We're away.
That's
Now
true.
we got to be home more.
Okay, that's good.
Fair?
Okay, that sounds good.
Before
Let's do it.
3 years, though. Before 3 years.
Yeah. not another 3 years. But
Yeah.
guys, again, thank you guys for being on. I'm really happy. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for the hospitality.
Great atmosphere here. Great
Yeah.
atmosphere.
Don't forget to rate podcast with 5 stars.
Where are we available?
We are on Facebook, Spotify,
LinkedIn.
Twitter?
LinkedIn, Twitter,
you on
Microsoft,
Twitter?
anywhere. all right?
MySpace.
Are you on MySpace too? Yes.
MySpace,
yes.
okay.
MySpace.
All right.
Are you guys
Well,
on Tinder?
Vine.
Vine.
Vines, okay. Vines too.
Guys,
Okay,
as
guys.
always, thank you for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Ciao, ragazzi.
Ciao, guys.
Ciao.
Forza Serie A. Woo.
Thank you guys. That was great.
That was amazing.